7 we are extracting, right? 8 also we are extracting? No, only this 7 we are extracting, and we are not placing any implant there. Okay, this 5 is fractured, right? Can you see it's fractured, and it is holding only on the 4. Okay, first premolar, yes, and we are going for implant. So first see the sinus floor and anterior wall. Okay, above the apex there is a lot of length, right? This is the sinus wall, so it is a straightforward and simple case, not a difficult one. If the sinus floor comes close to the apex, then it becomes a difficult situation.
Bone density is good, no?
Yeah, bone density is also is good. As you see, it is not very lucent.
Sinus genius.
This is a sinus. This is a sinus wall.
Sinus is not very lucent.
Yeah, because of this panoramic section, no.
Okay.
This CBCT is different from the OPG you see. Okay, this is the panoramic section we are getting from the CBCT. Okay. Okay, now we see the buccolingual view. Yeah, this is the root tip which is fractured, which is close to the buccal plate. This is the sinus floor. This is the nasal floor. Exactly. The width is good, the height is good, the bone quality is good. It is a fully straightforward situation. Start from crest till the nasal floor. It shows around 15 mm. So KOS 15 mm will be good. Or if you want to place BCS, you place BCS. But if you put KOS, it will get stability from the crestal bone, from the middle third bone, from the nasal floor. Everywhere it will get stability. But if you put BCS, it will get only stability from the C2 bone. So it is better to use KOS in this situation. But we have to be careful in removing the root apex. We should not leave the root apex. So this is the first quadrant. Second quadrant is.
But bone is so dense.
A bone. Pilot and we may have to use a twist drill also if needed.
If very tough bone, switch to the vicious.
No, it is not very tough bone. It's not very tough bone. It's not very cortical bone. I will show. You can see the black spaces, no, marrow spaces. If it is fully white, then it is fully cortical. This is not fully cortical. It's a good quality bone. It is not D1, it is D2. D2 is very perfect. Okay, now we are looking for the second quadrant. We are going to remove this 6, 7, 8, and we are planning for 3 implants. Okay, so we are going to give 7 also because the patient is having 7 the lower jaw also.
Generalized bone loss?
Yes, generalized bone loss. See, everywhere so it is a future full mouth. Okay, so now whenever you are removing 6, you are planning for implant, check the sinus floor. Okay, if the sinus floor is very far away, it is easy. There is no bone. The bone loss due to the periodontal issue. Sinus floor is it's close. Sinus floor is close. So first see the sinus floor, then see the bone between the 5 and 6. This bone is good, so you can use this bone. Okay, so you can use slightly tilted. Okay, so you can tilt implant like this and you can bend. Okay, suddenly it becomes a healed case. Okay, you can put a KOS from here to here, right? Mesially tilted around 12 mm. Okay, 3.712 you can use, and palatal socket if needed you can use. Okay, palatal socket if it is good. If it is destroyed by periodontal disease, then it is difficult to use. Usually palatal socket we use 5.5. The 7, it looks from this section, it's not good for any implant. Okay, even the crestal bone is gone, the alveolar bone is gone, it is close to sinus, so straight away we have to go for the pterygoid. Okay, so based on this section you start from the distal socket and go to this section. This is the pterygoid, right? This is the tuberosity, this is the pterygoid, this is the fusion zone. So this is the fusion zone. So better to start from the distal wall of the 8 socket, and you can put a BCS or KOS depending upon the situation. Okay, so our tentative plan based on this panoramic image is 1 implant in this mesially tilted and another implant in the palatal socket, leave the 7 and 1 implant in the 8 pterygoid. Okay, now we will improvise this plan by seeing the CBCT. Okay, If you don't have CBCT, then you have to improvise this plan during surgery. Okay, during surgery you have to change the plan. But if you have CBCT, you can modify the plan in CBCT. Now we will check the first plan, mesially tilted, right? I am tilting mesially here from the crest of the mesial roots. Now I am seeing there is a good bone here, right? This is a sinus floor, this is a nasal floor. So can you see the nasal floor is from the anterior tooth to the 8 till nasal floor is there. It is not present only between canine to canine. So from here we will start and we will go till here. It is around 11 to 12 mm, okay, which is good. So KOS 3.7, 12 we can place. So I am just tilting some more, just I want to see how it happens. So little more length is added, right? In case you want to go in this segment, the palatal bone, okay, this is the palatal bone which you are telling, you can put a longer implant, but exactly going into this segment surgically it is challenging. Surgically it is challenging. Exactly you have to go till here, start the drilling here and drilling. So easy plan will be like this, buccolingually straight. This is palatally inclining, okay. Okay, so this plan will be good. 13 mm also you are getting, yes. So the more you are inclined mesially, the more length you are getting, okay. As you incline less, the length available reduces to 10 mm, right? Right or wrong, okay. So this inclination about 25 degree, okay, this is about 25 degree is okay. Now we are seeing the mesiobuccal root cross section, okay, exactly in the mesiobuccal root how the anatomy. See, the buccal root is very close to the sinus floor and also to the buccal side. Never drill through the buccal root, okay, it's a golden rule. Mesiobuccal root, this is the anatomy, okay. Now we are not going to do anything, we will see the palatal root now, okay, this is the palatal root. If you see the palatal root, it is not favorable because the palatal socket is destroyed, okay. Even both the side, this side there is no bone. If there is bone here, you can put a good nice 5.5 implant, but here till the apex the palatal bone is destroyed, then it is a difficult situation. Then the only option we have available is to use this island bone, palatal bone, okay. You can go through the drill through the apex and reach till the nasal floor and place a 3.6 BCS only, not KOS, okay. Surgically it is quite challenging, okay. So 3.6, 14, something like that, okay. Second implant is over. Now we will we will see 7, though we have planned not to do anything here. Some bone in the palatal aspect is there, palatal bone, okay. Okay, now we will see the 7 distal root. Some palatal bone is there, but not very ideal, okay. Now we are seeing the 8 for pterygoid, okay. Our initial plan is to start from the distal socket, right, and tilt about 25, 30, 40 degree. That is good bone, right, good quality bone, good width. You can put BCS or KOS, whatever it is, okay. So 3 implant planning is over. Mesial implant is KOS 3.7, 12 or 10 mesially tilted. Second implant is in the palatal socket 3.6, okay, over the palatal bone. The third implant is a classic pterygoid, okay. So this premolar we know the plan, it's a KOS compressive implant, okay. We'll measure once. It is around 16. You can use a 15 or 16 mm implant. Any doubts so far? The upper jaw. Okay, now we will see the lower jaw.
But 3 implant is sufficient to take all
Yes, but the thing is only 3 implant you can put here. You cannot put 4 now because the amount of bone available is not very much. If you can place one more implant, place. Now we are planning for the right side first. Focus on the right side first. We are going to remove this 7 and we are going to give 2 implants for replacing 6. Okay, if you want to replace 7 also, we have to give 3 implants, but right now patient wants only 6. So now based on the only OPG, what is the plan? From here to here there is sufficient length. This is the canal, right? Sufficient length, lot of length is there. So 12 mm implant, you can put 2 12 mm implant KOS because it is the healed area. 12 mm implant. What is the diameter? That depends on the buccolingual width. Clinically, if it is wide, use 4.1. If the
one is wider and one is
no, there is lot of length is there. Okay, so you can
distal root is wider, other one is
no, this is not extraction socket. No, this is a yield socket. No. Okay. So one implant here, right? And another implant is close to 7. Okay. Either a 12 mm implant will be fine because the canal is very far away. You can see this shadow, the canal is very far. So 3.7 12 will work. But now
extraction, sir.
Yes, 7 extraction, but we are not placing any implant in the 7. So now we will see this planning in CBCT. Okay, buccolingual cross section I am doing in the mesial off. This is the mesial off of the 6. Excellent bone, right? Very wide, the bone quality is good,
here.
the canal is very far away.
Get us through concavity and
Yes. But we are not going to do any engagement lingually. Just for theoretical sake, I am measuring from the canal to the crest. It is 18 mm, which is very rare now. But we will place only 12 mm. Okay. And we will see the area mesial to 7. You can see the undercut is more prominent here. This is the nerve. The crest is good, but there is some marrow space is more here. Can you see? Okay, so when you do drilling, you will feel this softness here, but here the bone is quite good.
The whole label is good.
Yes. Okay, this is so you can use 12 mm.
Is it ideal bone form?
Yes, ideal bone, but little cancerous bone is here. Can you see? This is black.
Chaos it becomes more.
Yes, more compression. Yes, this can you see? If you see, the mesial off is good compared to the distal off. We finish the planning on right side. The left side 6 we are going to replace. The patient wants delayed loading here, so we are going to place a conventional implant delayed loading. So this is the canal. So you can place up to 12 mm implant. We are planning for 11.5 implant, 4.2 diameter, any conventional implant. Okay.